How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what's up, chat? How's everyone doing? Welcome back to a brand new episode, brand new week, brand new month. Did we stream at the start of September at all? Yeah, we streamed the start of September. Okay, not a brand new month, but we're here, baby. We're locked and loaded. We're back. How did everyone enjoy their nice little weekend? Monday over here. Tomorrow was Tuesday, September 10th. I had a wonderful weekend. I sadly did not get to visit Dieter or any of the other viewers that I wanted to visit because I was hanging out with some close friends. I felt guilty leaving my close friends alone who I went to go visit in the first place. So Dieter, I'll visit you somewhere down the road once again. I'll come just to come visit you boys. We'll come have some fun. But my trip to Montreal was pretty good, man. I enjoyed it. Montreal was great. The beers in Montreal are hella cheap, chat. I'll tell you that. Beers in Montreal compared to Toronto, way different. The food in Montreal is also a little bit cheaper. The bagels in Montreal slap, boy. Oh my god. I was craving a bagel so badly today with some good ham and cheese, some smoked meat in there and everything. My mouth is just watering thinking about it. I just wish I was in Montreal all over again. It was a good time. It was a good time. Nice little mini vacation for the weekend, but we're back locked and loaded, getting ready to smash the market, baby. And there were some opportunities today to smash if you're looking for it. Stocks that got announced over the weekend that they were going to be thrown into the S&P 500 ETF. We'll talk about that a little bit more down the stream. Some of the stocks that were apparently getting removed from the S&P 5 index also moved a little bit. We have Bitcoin moving around, Coinbase, MSTR, semiconductor stocks. Apple had an Apple event where they announced AirPods. iPhone 16, a brand new, all new, oh my god, a completely different than ever seen before Apple iPhone being released soon. So guys, even if you have only one version before, get ready to go buy the brand new. This is a joke. This is all a joke. I'm making fun of Apple, how they release the same goddamn phone again with no changes in it at all. So this is just a joke. Don't believe what I'm saying right now, okay? Apple, what a bullshit event. Short the event, and that was a good opportunity there. So yeah, obviously we'll talk about Apple. ARM being partnered with Apple to supply Apple with their AI chips, so that you know, Apple can start using some of the AI capabilities that they've been lacking in. Something that Google has been doing for God knows how long now. You know, my phone, 3-4 generations old, already has an AI chip in it, and I can basically do everything that that the Apple phone is just now touted to be able to do. So it's an absolute joke that Apple event was. The AirPods were cool. The Apple Watch is another joke. So the whole Apple event was a joke. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to make fun of Apple. That's a lie. We are. But we're here to talk about all things that we can take advantage on the market tomorrow, such as the earnings name, Oracle moving around by 9% to the upside. We got GameStop tomorrow after hours. So all that fun stuff. Let's head over to the full screen. Before we head over to the full screen, I always love to see who's in the chat at the moment. So on the YouTube, we got TH. What's up, TH? Always number one. We got TH on the YouTube chat. We got Dieter, Olivier, and we got Eddie in the chat. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? How did your day go? How was your first day of this week for trading? If you traded, that is. Apple became the old way to reach the future. Yeah, Apple, and I can rant about Apple all day, but that will just take up all the time we want to spend about looking at stocks and so on. So let's go to the full screen. We'll rant about Apple when we actually get to Apple. All right, we'll rant about Apple when we actually get to Apple. Here is, oh my God, I have so many windows. Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? I think this one. Okay. Here is your earnings calendar for all of this week, starting with some of the names that reported today after hours. Oracle, Rubrik, bunch of other names here that most of us don't even care about, or maybe some of you guys do as a long-term position or something, but not interesting for me as a day trade. Usually these random no-name companies. Rubrik, a brand new IPO, or one of the more recent IPOs if I remember correctly. I remember trading this IPO, was a pretty good opportunity for me. Nothing in the pre-market basket for us. Maybe Co-America, CMA, something that I remember trading before, but not really, nothing in the pre-market. But Tuesday after hours, we got GameStop, Dave & Buster's, Petco. Wednesday morning, we got Manchester United. And then Thursday after close, we got a couple names over here a little exciting, such as Adobe, Restoration Hardware. In the pre-market on Thursday, we also have Kroger's, which I think the deal fell apart, right? They were supposed to buy out Albertsons, or Albertsons was supposed to buy out Kroger. That deal fell apart if I remember correctly. Either way, opportunities all across the board over here. Even though some of the big names have reported already, the earning board's still a little active for us to keep our eyes peeled out and see if we can make some money opportunities, or get some money making opportunities on these names. Starting with the name that we care about tonight, the only one that we care about tonight, Oracle. So we're gonna head over to Benzinga to read Oracle's earnings report. If you're interested in this amazing platform, Benzinga, where not only do you get to read the news as soon as they come out, you also have opportunities to use their inbuilt scanners to help you find what stocks are moving, such as this earnings monitor, what's moving monitor, the momentum monitor, the day trading monitor. All these scanners are pre-built for you, and obviously you can tweak it to your likings and so on, and it'll show you exactly what stocks are moving around. I mainly use Oracle for the news capabilities. They also have a wonderful squawk feature where you can hear all the stocks that are moving around right as they're moving around throughout the day. So check out Oracle. I'm going to post my link real quick in the chat for us. If I can find my link tree, there you go. I'll post my link in the chat. Go check it out. And check out my other affiliate sponsors too while you're at it. But we're going to use Benzinga to check out the Oracle's earnings report right now. Right meow. We got Skunk Kunk in the chat. What's up, Skunk? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Dieter, I saw that you were streaming beats making. Why'd you stop? I was gonna just, leave you playing in the background, have that be as my background music. However, I already have you as my background music 24/7 anyways. But I thought it would be cool to have Dieter stream up in the background while he's making beats. But we always love to have you in the chat, brother. Always love to have you in the chat. Oracle reported quarterly earnings of $1.39 per share, beating estimates of beating estimates of 1.32 per share by about 5.3% beat on that EPS overall. Quarterly revenue coming in at $13.3 billion, beating consensus estimates of $13.23 billion, so a little bit of a beat there, and representing a 6.86 increase in the same period last year. Cloud infrastructure grew by 45%, cloud applications grew by 10%, Fusion Cloud grew by 16%, NetSuite grew by 20%. Total remaining performance obligations rose by 53%. So all across the board, you're seeing growth on Oracle. You're also seeing a 7% growth on year to year on the revenue side. So all things looking good so far. We already know that the stock went up 9%. So it looks like what we're seeing matches with the move that we have been presented so far. Okay. Looking for the outlook over here, but don't see any outlook on the company, sadly. Let's continue reading. As cloud services become Oracle's largest business, both our operating income and earnings per share growth accelerated, says the CEO. I thought the CEO was the guy that I used for the thumbnail today. That guy's not the CEO. I guess he's the owner, he's the founder, and Safara Katz, that's a sick name. Safara, however you say it, Safara Katz is the CEO, I guess. So I used the wrong picture today, sadly. However, it's fine. I used the founder, Larry Ellison. Apparently, Larry Ellison also took over Paramount over the weekend and owns his own island. Thank you, TH, for hooking us up with this alpha, something that I did not know. I did not know that he bought out Paramount. Obviously the movie television company and so on. They were in talks about getting bought out. I did not also know that he bought them out. That's pretty cool. All right. So non-GAAP operating income was up 14% in constant currency to $5.7 billion, and non-GAAP EPS was up 18% in constant currency to 1.39, was up 53% from same period last year. The strong contract backlog will increase. I mainly want to see what they're talking about for the outlook. So they're talking about looking at more increase in revenue throughout the year, but the biggest news of all was signing a multi-cloud agreement with Amazon Web Services, AWS, including our latest technology, Exadata hardware, and version 23 AI of our database software embedded into the AWS cloud data centers. AWS customers will get easy and convenient access to Oracle database when we go live in December later this year. So it looks like there's a big partnership with Amazon incoming for Oracle, a new offering that allows customers to access Oracle Autonomous Database on dedicated infrastructure and Oracle Exadata database services within AWS. The company said Oracle Database AWS will provide customers with a unified experience between Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and AWS infrastructure. Oracle and Alphabet, Google Cloud also announced the general availability of Oracle Database Cloud, Google Cloud, and Google Cloud regions across the US, Europe, and so on, US and just Europe. Customers will now be able to run Oracle Exadata services, Oracle automation databases, Oracle Data Zero, data loss, autonomous recovery services. Looks like all of their services basically will now be able to be run on Google data centers and on Amazon data centers on the Amazon AWS platform. And if you guys know how much of the world runs on AWS, let's actually quickly go Google that. Actually, we'll use AI to help us out. How much of the world runs on AWS? Approximately 32%. So that's a big number, right? We all know that AWS basically powers every most big companies these days. Most people use AWS, and you're seeing 32% market share over there for them, and Oracle obviously tapping into not only that but also the other competitive market shares with Google partnership, with AWS partnership. Probably in the future we'll see Azure, Microsoft partnership, and all kinds of partnerships coming in. Maybe they already have that. So Oracle showing you that they're signing more deals, they're expanding, they're growing across the board on a year-to-year scale. Are we not on the right screen over here? Oh my goodness. What's going on? Let me change the screens. Oopah! Where's my full screen primary screen? There we go. Whoopee! Okay, so growing across the board for Oracle, save. going across the board for Oracle on all aspects. Good to see that. And now obviously we saw that the stock ripped to the upside today, 9% to the upside. Amazing monster bump to the upside on the stock. Let's actually look at it on the daily chart first, because 153 might be a new all-time high on this stock, and it is. Yikes. So new all-time high on Oracle, which is, I guess, a good thing to see. But the market not really at all-time highs. So let's see if Oracle can sustain this upside move. They are showing us growth, but it's not a double-digit growth. Also, Oracle's like a dinosaur company, right? It's a really old company, so maybe expecting double-digit growth, maybe expecting triple-digit growth like Nvidia is out of scale over here. At the end of the day, growth is growth. They managed to bring in some positive news for themselves, ripped past the previous all-time high, which is $146.59, $146.50. Let's just round it down nice and easy. You can also see right over here on this candle low, that candle low was exactly 146. So basically, on any pullback, you're expecting the stock to find a bounce in this area. And if we're not able to find bouncing off of these areas or anywhere before that, the long is almost not in play at that point. So you want to be questioning the stock. You want to be asking, why are we not able to find buyers above the previous all-time high? And at that point, you just instantly look for an easy short. Obviously, this is a pretty big move to the downside, and if you're shorting the stock here when we started the move up here, it's a little bit of too much of a delayed reaction on your part to do that. So maybe you're looking for a short from somewhere over here for a down move into 146, at which point you can look to flip long. Ideally, the stock shouldn't even get below 149 because that's where the earnings anchored VWAP is coming in at the moment. Earnings anchored VWAP also lining up kind of with that 3-bar high that you're seeing right into 148.50, 149. So that's going to have to be my first area defense on this position. I want to see the stock right off the open either rip up to the north side, pull back and show me a higher spot above these after hour highs, or even in pre-market. Let's say the stock is higher in pre-market than where we are now. I want to see the stock getting above the pre-market highs, pulling back and showing me buying above the pre-market highs, maybe at the opening range 5-minute high, maybe at the open. I don't want to see weakness on this position at all if I'm looking long. Makes sense, right? You don't want to see selling, you don't want to see weakness, you want to see higher highs getting bought up, you want to see higher lows coming into play, and that is basically a recipe for the upside. So if I don't see these type of actions in the pre-market where the stock is going higher, pulling back and showing me higher highs and higher lows, I'm almost not interested for the long at that point. Then I'm only looking for a fade back short. But off the pre-market, we do something like this. We set up for a nice little dip right off the open into 149, into 150, and then we have a sharp bounce off of this area, setting up for a break into after hour high, setting up for a break into pre-market high, and then more upside incoming because of the amount of juice that the buyers might provide the position over here. So don't want to see this area breaking on the stock at all. 149 first area defense. Under 149, it's going to be, like I just mentioned, that 146.50 to that 146 area where the stock seems to have found a little bit of footing above the previous all-time high. So looking for defense around those two price points. As for offense, you're really just kind of, you got to realize what you're trying to do. If you're trying to look for a short, you're trying to pick a top, and picking the top is a little bit of a skillful task to do, right? You need to have the patience to be able to pick a top. You need to be able to see the selling, and then you also need to be able to pull the trigger. Sometimes you might see the selling, but you might hesitate on pulling the trigger, so you won't catch it, or you'll just have a bad price. So a little harder to do so instead of buying the dip, because then you're just following the trend that has been started in the after hours today. You're just following the trend looking for the dip. But if the stock is ripping to the high side, you're looking at a bunch of other variables, like how fast did it go right off of the open, and how far did it go, the velocity and the distance, how fast and how far did it go to the upside. If it's slowly doing this all day, then that's an absolute grind trend that the stock is on, and you just follow the trend. But if the stock is just doing this right off the open, ripping up into 160, 162, whatever the price point is. At that point, I'm looking for an extremely sharp pullback to look to short into somewhere around these areas. Extremely sharp pullback right away, because that is not sustainable in my opinion, right? That is not sustainable. Too far, too high. Some of the retail traders, you know, jumped in off the open. Some of them FOMO chased the stock up, and when this reverses, all of these FOMO chasers intraday, they're going to punch out of their position. So that's the trade over there that you're looking for. You're seeing how fast did it go up. Was it too fast, too quick? If so, anyone who FOMO punched right off the open, they're all going to be looking to exit on the way down. Nice little quick short scalp on the way down for you, and then if it starts finding a higher low, you can dump your position, look to get long. If it doesn't give you a higher low, if it's not able to hold today's open after doing something like that, let's say this is today's open, after it rips up, pulls back, not able to hold today's open, stays under today's open, usually that's how the stock looks like. So that's a couple ideas over there on what I'm mainly looking for on Roricle. What's up, John Vaughn? How you doing? I see you on both my chats. I love seeing you on stonks.com more than on YouTube. You should tell your other viewer on YouTube to join you on stonks.com. That's right, I'm talking to UTH. Get your ass on stonks.com. Look at that. We got everyone on stonks except for UTH, except for you. What is going on in the chat? It looks like no new messages for me to read, so I'm just gonna continue going down the list over here. If you are looking for resistance, I'm not gonna use this area as a resistance right off the bat. I'm gonna see how the stock trades in pre-market and then revamp some of my resistance levels. So Oracle, so far mainly looking for the bullish dips. If the stock rips too far, too quick to the upside, looking for a pullback short. But if it slowly grinds up throughout the day, then just join the trend and just enjoy the ride to the upside, right? Join the trend and enjoy the ride to the upside. Speaking about joining the trend and enjoying the ride to the upside, sadly, I did not do that on Palantir. I did have the long, so that's good. I had the long right here. And I was out of the trade right there. I wish I was able to look for an entry back in this area. Sadly, I was distracted by other positions such as Apple, such as Nvidia. So I got distracted by a bunch of other positions on the day, and I missed out on this secondary leg to the upside. Palantir, the main reason why Palantir is launching up today is because over the weekend we got an announcement that the S&P 500 rebalance, which is actually very soon. It's a quarterly rebalance. S&P 500, Morgan Stanley, the IWM Russell, the QQ. I'm not sure if the QQQ actually does it in the way that these guys do, but maybe even the QQQ. But some of the biggest funds in the world rebalance on every single quarter. And if you are someone who promises to be tracking the S&P 500, if you're in hedge fund, let's say you are John Vaughn's fund LLC, right? John Vaughn Fund LLC. And you promise everyone in your fund that you are going to be tracking the S&P 500. And when the S&P 500 at the end of the quarter says, okay, we're now adding Palantir to our fund, to our ETF, and we're deleting Etsy, for example, it's your job to go out there and make sure that by September 23rd, you actually have Palantir on your books. Otherwise, you will be against law. You'll be violating regulations, you'll be violating law, and your investors, your partners can actually come and sue you for not upholding the rules and everything. So Palantir, well, because of that catalyst, catching a beautiful traction above a most recent resistance around $33. We've seen Palantir struggle around 33 quite a bit, pull back from 33 into $30, at which point, that was pretty good support around 30 if you were looking for some sort of an intraday swing trade setup. If you got that long, congratulations to you, because now you are up 14% to the north side as Palantir looks like it wants to reclaim some of its glory day levels. Palantir getting ready to reclaim some of its glory levels over here and push up to the north side. Just get ready for the S&P 500 add. For example, here's a stock that got announced that it was getting added to the S&P 500 rebalance, and then when it actually did get added, it ripped to the north side. I'm trying to find the anchored VWAP that I put in for the day that I think this might be the day that it got announced. I forget actually which day it got announced. That's a big volume candle. That might be the day it actually got added. That might be the day it actually got added to the S&P 500. That makes a lot of sense because of the amount of volume traded on that day. But you can see how right before that day, when the news catalyst first came out, this is where Uber first was, and Uber ripping up to almost from $40 into $60 with the help of even earnings report coming behind it, ripping up to almost $60 just in time for that S&P 500 ad. So Palantir, not saying that it has to do the exact same thing. For example, Dell did not actually have any traction today. Dell got sold off even though that catalyst was bullish, right? Dell is getting added to the S&P 500 also, and Dell actually got smoked. I was short Dell right over here. I took some profits here, and then I got stopped out on the way back through the high side. Wasn't looking for a re-entry, but if I was, I would have ideally thought about getting back here maybe, right? So looking for a re-entry back to the downside on Dell. I stayed away from looking for the short because I know how crazy these stocks get when they get announced that they're getting added to the index and so on. So a couple opportunities over here to keep an eye on. So Palantir, let's quickly go back to Palantir just because I believe we will have a beautiful opportunity on this tomorrow again, and possibly for the next few days all the way up to the S&P 500 rebalance, all the way up to September 23rd. We're gonna have a bunch of opportunities on the stock. Big volume spike today. You can see how that volume spike was larger than one of the more recent volume spikes that the stock has had all the way up at its earnings move or so. I think that was its earnings move, right? Go back to 1 year. Yeah, I think it was. Maybe not. But either way, big volume spikes, so relative volume clearly going up. And now we're looking to see how some of these technical levels get respected on any sort of pullback. Today's VWAP, that's a technical level. It's a technical indicator, technical level. Today's VWAP around $34. You also have the previous 52-week high around $33.13. Sorry, that's today's open. This is the previous 32-week high around $33.33. So you ideally have a whole dollar of a pocket from $34 to $33 where buying should step in. Buying should come in and defend the stock from getting below $33. So you're looking for, you know, if that hold comes in at today's VWAP around 34, if that hold comes in around $33, wherever that hold comes in, you're looking to build into a long and ride it back into maybe today's high, depending on how far up the dip is. If we do dip all the way down over here into 33.13, I'm not really expecting a move all the way back to today's high, possibly back into VWAP, or maybe somewhere around a little bit above VWAP for a nice little bounce off of 33. If we bounce off of 34, then expecting today's high might not be out of the picture, right? We bounce off of today's VWAP, we go back into today's high, and then we continue a little bit more higher to the upside, as some of the people who might be feeling FOMO for not buying the catalyst might want to jump in on any sort of dips to the downside. So watching how buyers react, some of the FOMOers, how do they react on these opportunities when they get presented to them, and if we get to ride in their pockets, ride in their coattails to the upside, or ride in their coattails to the downside. Let's see how Palantir reacts tomorrow. Ideally don't want to see the stock below $34/$33. If we do get back below 33, there could be a small little short opportunity into today's low, but that's not something that I'm going out there and actively looking for. For example, here's Palantir on the hourly chart, and you can see how, what the hell? You can see how on the hourly chart, there is really no short on the stock until we start trading under 34. Once we start trading under 34, then we can think about a little bit of a short into maybe 33.13, which is that previous 52-week high that we're talking about, and then maybe a little bit more room to the downside. But thinking bearish on Palantir right now will be a very wrong thing to do. So just be careful on that side. Be careful on that side. However, thinking short on Dell might not be as bad of an idea, because we have seen how poorly it behaved off of its own earnings report. It actually popped up and then sold off and got below its range over here. We sold off on Friday with the rest of the market. Today's catalyst actually brought it back above the solid white line range that we were looking at near that 105 area. But you know, it does not look like it has the power to really reclaim this 107, 108 because of how it traded today. That being said, 105, which was that line we have drawn, you see that 105 thick white line, and then today's low 105.10. So that 105 still showing you some buying even after us showing some weakness on Friday and us showing some weakness off of the whole earnings reaction. 105 showing some buying today. So the ideal idea over here on this position, the main idea for this position is you don't want to see Dell below 105. If Dell starts trading under 105, then it could easily go back into Friday's low, in my opinion. You want to see 105 being defended, and at that point there could be an opportunity to look long. If 106, 107 is getting defended, that's basically telling you that 105 is being defended, right? So as long as the stock is able to find buying above 105, I think there's going to be some opportunities here to keep an eye on. The last stock that's going to be added to the S&P 500 index that we know of, ERIE. However, the stock has barely any volume. Average 30-day volume of 88,000. Volume today 288,000. And you can see how the stock just at July of this year was at $378, and today at $536. What in the hell is this position, right? What is this, SMCI? Like, what am I even looking at over here? What am I actually looking at, right? It's a financial company of some sorts, property casualty insurance, and you're moving like SMCI. This is ridiculous. This is the stock that I'm actually more interested to look to short on the pops. I don't think the stock can sustain some of its moves the way it's moving at the moment. Look at the daily chart trend though. I mean, this is such an Abercrombie and Finch move. I've been hurt trying to short ANF before, so maybe I need to be a little careful on ERIE. Obviously a $500 position with barely any volume on it. That means the liquidity is going to be absolutely dog shit. So you want to be careful trying to trade this position at all if you're trading it as a day trade. No volume, no liquidity, very, very thin stock. It's probably going to have a $5 to $10 ATR itself, so be careful on this one. Well, the ATR is 12, so the spread should not be more than 2 to 3, but if I can see the spread easily getting up to $5 on a name like this, which is very illiquid, very, very illiquid. But looking to see if I can short some pops on this name, or even if I can join this daily trend that the stock has been displaying so far. Let's just quickly go to the regular chart on the hourly. Turn off extended. Like for example, if we do get a dip into this 485, 490, that looks like a long that you could try for, right? If 490 holds, you're risking around 485, $5 risk for a bigger move to the upside on a swing scale, on an investment scale. Maybe you're just swinging it all the way up to the S&P 500 the stock has already been on an insane of a heater of a trend over here. If you just draw a trend line of some sorts, you just use that trend line as your stop, right? So a bunch of ideas over there that you can use for a swing trade. However, I'm not really keeping an eye on this stock for a day trade. It's just something that's in the back of my watch list, because I notice it's getting added to the S&P 500 right here. Addition, Erie, Bang. So it's something to keep an eye on. There could be a trade that possibly pops up on us. AVGO, one of the earnings names that we traded recently. What the hell is this? Oh, that's the split? No, that's not the split. Oh, that's the August lows. Gotcha. And that's the ER. So you can see how AVGO right now is kind of finding resistance under the earnings anchored VWAP, which is around $142. Decent bounce on it today because of the market. I think the SMH had a decent day, Nvidia had a decent day also. So AVGO just using that to stay positive a little bit. They did downgrade a small amount on their earnings report when they reported, I believe, on Thursday, and that brought the drop on AVGO. Not really sure what I want to do with this stock tomorrow. But I'll be watching it. You can see how many buy zones according to field value gaps for those of you ICT monkeys in the chat. Field value gaps over here showing you some possible defense zones, some possible buy zones. If you just ignore the field value gaps, if you don't like them, just look at the stock on the hourly chart. You can notice how the stock has some clear levels where you could possibly look to trade. Wait, this is not AVGO. This is AVGO. So some pockets over here to the downside, a gap fill to the upside, and a resistance pockets to the upside also. Then you have the August lows, which the stock has yet to go test. We're bouncing off of one of the more previous lows over here around 136, 137 area. So looking to see if the dips can get bought up so we can gap close, or if we find resistance into this previous highs for us to look back. So far though, with the way the chart's looking, as long as the stock finds buying above 140, you can still look long on this position, in my opinion. So don't want to see the stock below 140. That's going to be a level for me to keep an eye on. As long as we keep finding buying above 140, there could be a potential move up to 144 and then even a gap close if the market's looking good. If the market's not looking good, then those areas we can just look to get short into. ARM had a positive catalyst today. They're providing Apple with semiconductor chips for the AI capabilities, so they can catch up to what all the phones in the world have already been able to do. Shout out to Google, baby. Shout out to Google. Have already been able to use a shit ton of AI capabilities, crop out people in pictures, take a picture of anything that I wanted to, and take a nice little a snapshot of it, and then immediately have AI tell me everything about it. I've been doing this for years now, and Apple just comes out with it, and they're only able to do it with the power of ARM semiconductors. So shout out to ARM to take advantage of that partnership now, and moving up by 7%. You can see how we bounce off of a beautiful area, trying to reclaim one of the more recent resistances on the hourly chart, and doing so successfully. We opened, we ripped up, and then going into the close of the day, we actually managed to stay above that 124 area. So going into tomorrow, if ARM continues to stay above 124, there could be another secondary leg to the upside over here as the stock continues to rise with the market, with the semiconductor sector, and with the whole Apple catalyst behind it. However, Apple could very easily continue to be weak like it was today, especially after the report. Oh, they bounced back after, huh? Okay, Apple, I see you. Apple bounced back afterwards going into the close. Okay, so Apple actually managed to wiggle, back and forth. Here's my earnings, anchored VWAP from the 1 o'clock event. It's basically today's VWAP, so you could kind of even get rid of it. You can see how back and forth today's move was, almost like it did not matter at all. But overall, last week's low, that's the key level on Apple. Last week's low getting defended, 217.50 area. You can even say 216.71 as we loosened up that 217.50 all the way up to 217, 216.71 or so. So this whole pocket of area, you can see how much defense we've had. Even after the whole 1 o'clock event, we sell off and then we find buying again. So it looks like we got an active buyer here into this last week's low area of 217, and ideally you don't want to see Apple getting below it if we do get anywhere close to that price point tomorrow. I don't think we should even get down there. We should possibly find buying above today's high around 221, 220 area, and start actually going higher and higher if this catalyst for Apple, the whole event for Apple, was actually seen in a bullish way for the market. We already see that Apple's hype is dying down. Not many people care for Apple as much as they previously did. People used to fangirl over Apple and buy every single product. I mean, I have a couple family members who just go out there and buy every single Apple product, every single brand new phone that comes out from Apple. She's a fangirl. Whatever she wants, she has it, right? I'm only bringing up this point because she's not the only one. There's a million other people out there who do the same thing that she does. So if you know these people, then you understand exactly how much hype Apple has, even if they're releasing the same goddamn phone with not much changes in it, right? So maybe Apple actually has some traction. Maybe that new watch and AirPods actually brings in more hype to this company that previously has been dying down and diminishing drastically. All of that will be revealed slowly. I just need price action to follow my thesis. My thesis at the moment is bearish. If the price action follows my thesis, I'm ready to go short. If your thesis is bullish, which is not mine, if your thesis is bullish, wait for the price action to confirm that for you, and that would be by trading above 220, by trading above 221. If the stock successfully holds 220, 221 and stays above that, then the thesis is pretty much bullish. The stock looks like it's going to get bought up. Look for the long side. However, like I just mentioned, I'm looking for the short side all the way up to 221.50, and if we're holding above 221.50, then I kind of stay away from the short idea. Absolutely. AMD, with the rest of the semiconductor sector making a little bit of a rebound today, but if you look at AMD on the hourly chart, not much really to do. Look at the amount of resistances we have to the upside. I mean, AMD really has to get above 143 for me to even think about a long at the moment. You could have thought about long here. If you caught it, shout out to you, but I'm not really looking to trade in the middle of the ranges on AMD, so I'm staying away from this one for a little bit longer. Nvidia, the other semiconductor stock, I actually had a decent short on Nvidia today. That was good, but then Nvidia reversed right back to the upside. Profitable stock for me on the day, but I just was hoping for a little bit of a bigger move into $100. Sadly, Nvidia didn't give that to me, so I just took my quick little scalp and walked away from it. Right now, same idea as AMD. Nvidia has a monster barrier into $110 that we have seen back-to-back days last week. 110, the stock pops into that price point, rejects and sells off. The next day, 109.50, rejects and sells off. The next day, 108, rejects and sells off. So if we pull back into 110, I'm keeping a very close eye on Nvidia to look to join the short side as it has been paying so far. But if that 110 actually manages to break and we start finding buying above 110, that means Nvidia has to go above 110, pull back and hold above 110 for me to even think long. I'm not taking the breakout through 110 unless Nvidia kind of sets up right before 110 breakout, kind of grinds into that 110, creating a good 5-minute pattern for me to look for the breakout, and then I'll take the breakout. But if it's just a one-shot move off the open from today's high of 106.50 into 110, I'm shorting that 110 without a doubt. I'm shorting that 110 without a doubt if it's just a one-shot move from 106.50 to 110 area. So watching how Nvidia trades, how fast does it go into this price point? How is it trading at this price point? Is it slowly grinding at 110? Getting ready for a breakout, or is it slowly grinding into 110? But each time it's grinding into 110, the drops are sharper. The drops are much sharper each time that it goes into 110, and it's not able to go back into 110 after each drop, showing you that the sellers are being aggressive. They're way more powerful, and the buyers aren't aggressive enough to go test that 110 area again. So clearly, lower highs, lower lows pattern coming into play for us to smack the short to the downside on Nvidia. Looking to see if we can have that fun tomorrow. Keep an eye on. I think we will see 110 tomorrow if the market goes up. So for sure, keeping an eye on that one. Amazon, choppy, back and forth. Not really looking to make decisions on that one. Microsoft, I think looking for a dip buy into 403 to 400 is not a bad idea at all. So watching to see how Microsoft behaves. You can see how today we basically bounced off of that 402, 403 area. So 403 to 400, if we do dip, if the market looks weak by any chance, looking for a long there, might not be a wrong call. But if we do look weak and the market starts to sell off, getting short through 403 for a move into 400, and then for a move below 400 for a bigger move down, that could open up a lot of opportunity. But I don't think the market is going to get that bearish for us to even expect that move. I think the market is kind of relaxing right now. We have FOMC coming up somewhere in September. I think September 18th is the FOMC. Sometime this week we have the CPI coming out. That's actually tomorrow. No, sorry, that's Wednesday CPI. So I think the market waits a little bit before we make any sort of a rash decision to the downside or to the upside. So I'm not really expecting Microsoft to mature for that move tomorrow. But when it does, you want to be ready for it. You don't want to be like, oh no, Prad called it, but I missed it, I forgot, right? So you don't want to be like that. We have 8 too much. I like it. His username is 8 too much, but instead of eat, it's 8. It's kind of too much. I like it. I love the name. Since AAL is exiting S&P 500, would the theory work in the same direction? So, very good question. Very, very good question. Someone who's actually paying attention in the chat. Shout out to 8 too much. Here's the reason why the theory doesn't really work for American Airlines as much as Dell or Palantir, because it's not a pure delete. Let me show you why. It's not a pure delete. It is a migration trade. That's the word that they call it. They call it a migration trade because the stock is actually, let me try to find my highlighter. because the stock is actually, where's American Airlines? Here it is. You can see over there how it says deletion, but if you find American Airlines somewhere else, right there, it is an addition. So what's happening with American Airlines is actually it's moving from the S&P 500 and it's going into the S&P 500. This doesn't mean that it's getting deleted. It's the migration. So the terminology is a little different. It's almost a little trickery. So ignore the deletion and think about it as a migration. But whereas if the stock is, for example, getting deleted, purely getting deleted from the index, and it's not migrating into the 400, into the 600, into the 700, even if there is one. I don't think there is one, but it's not getting migrated, then that is a pure trade that you might be looking to sell going into that day. And right off the bat, I see HELE is only labeled once. Nope, it's labeled twice. HELE is labeled twice, so that's also a migration. So you're looking to spot those couple names. Is PSN just labeled once? PSN. There we go. There we go. Where's PSN? So that is a pure delete because this one is not getting added into any other index. To confirm real quick. Yeah, so it's not getting okay, it is getting added. Sorry, it's getting added to the S&P 400 and it's a pure ad. So same like these. These are pure ads. Okay. Etsy, bio, CNH. That's a pure ad. Pure ad, WAL, pure ad. Okay. HLNE. That's also another pure ad. So that's what you're trying to do. Just go through this list of stocks, find the ones that are only labeled once. Any ones that's labeled twice, it's kind of not even a real trade in my opinion. You're not even bothered about watching those names if they're only labeled ones in there. So if you go to AAL today, you'll notice how AAL actually had a good day to the upside. It did not care that it was getting removed from the S&P 500 index because people know that it's only migrating from the S&P 500 into a different ETF. So it's not that big of a trade deal kind of that we're scoping out for. It's a trade, just not a big trade that we're scoping out for. Continuing down my watch list over here, looks like the next stock we have is ASTS. I actually tried to short the stock right here today and I got stopped out. Didn't try for it later on. ASTS looks like it actually might be setting up for that failure to follow through setup coming in. So right now, there we go. That pop, that hurts. That hurts. Man, that would have been a nice short. Okay, ASTS basically looking for failure to follow through on any pops into 28 and failing to stay above 27. Ideally, you're looking for a short. Right now, we have that 25.50, 26 bottom that looks like it's being respected. This is where the failure to follow through stock setup starts opening up. I think somewhere down this week there's also a presentation or some sort of a meeting that they're going to do, I think, on ASTS, so you want to be a little careful for that one. But ideally the failure to follow through opens up under basically 25.50. If the stock gets under 25.50, then I think we have quite a bit of a downside to keep an eye out on. And on pops into $28, I'm looking to see if I can get short on this position again and ride it back to the downside. But we've seen how this stock has been back and forth recently quite a bit. Anytime we try to look for that failure to follow through, it kind of just doesn't give it to us. So it's a little bit of a sad name for me. because I don't really have a winning history on it, but I will still be looking for that opportunity on that stock, because when that opportunity shows up, I believe I can wipe out all my losses on that name ever since I've been trading it and actually turn it into a pretty decent opportunity to make money on it. So looking to see how ASTS sets up. Here's another name, Whirlpool. Well, it's not Whirlpool, but it's WHLR, Wheeler Real Estate Investment Trust. Making another, another small cap, silly name that's been going crazy recently. Went from 95 cents to $12, and now getting ready to show you that failure to follow through that we are talking about. This is actually a setup from our good friends over at Investors Underground, Nathan, a bunch of other people who are much better than us, who we want to learn from and try to emulate. They call this setup failure to follow through, and that will open up when the stock starts trading under that easy price of $6.50. So as soon as Whirlpool, and I'm gonna call it Whirlpool because that ticker reminds me of Whirlpool, WHLR Wheeler, as soon as we get under 650 or have failure to stay above $8, if the stock is struggling to stay above $8, I want to look for that short on this position, a short into 650 and a bigger move below 650 to the downside. So WHLR, something to keep an eye on. And the small cap basket, let's quickly go check what WHLR's short float is. 6% short float. Shares outstanding 500,000. 500,000 shares outstanding. What a joke. Absolute joke. So watching how this piece of shit name trades tomorrow. Affirm. Had earnings, popped up, and has been struggling ever since. We're still above the earnings days low, but you can see right here around $38, $37.50. If the stock is not able to hold that, we have a pretty decent gap close opportunity coming in. So keep an eye on Affirm tomorrow, and if these areas hold, a possible dip buy long opportunity setting up also. So nice levels coming into play on Affirm. MSTR, this is your Coinbase, Bitcoin, IBIT basket names, the cryptocurrency basket names. MSTR moving back into one of the resistance levels that I've previously shorted. So watching this one coming into play again right into this area. I actually shorted MSTR today, had a nice little trade on that one also. So watching if we can find some resistance into this 127, and if MSTR starts holding above 127, that means Bitcoin is most likely rallying again, and you just kind of stay away from that idea at that point. Maybe you look long if you're interested on the long instead. Bitcoin moving back to 56,000, 57,000 today. That's carried Coinbase from 151, that carried Microsoft to the upside. So a bunch of names over here that we're keeping an eye on. Even IBIT, watching IBIT. This is the ETF for Bitcoin ETF, something that you can use to trade instead of directly going out there and trading Coinbase, instead of trading Bitcoin on the cryptocurrency markets directly, you can choose to do so on IBIT. So a couple of the names over here to keep an eye on as Bitcoin keeps moving back and forth, giving opportunities to day traders. I like to take advantage of those names on Coinbase, on MSTR, and IBIT. Looks like we are pretty much at the end of our watch list here. Last few names to bring up, such as Google, Microsoft, Tesla. I think we kind of talked about Microsoft already. So we have Meta, Google, and Tesla. Google got absolutely smoked today. Absolutely smoked today. Big down move on Google, especially after that Friday sell-off. So Friday sell-off wasn't really good for Google, I guess, because today we tried to pop up, found resistance in the pretty much Friday pockets, and then we slammed right back to the south side. There could be more continuation on the stock just because of how it reacted to that Friday sell-off into today. The market wasn't really that weak, right? We were up 1.29% on the market. Oracle announced the Google partnership, and even that didn't help the stock. I guess it announced the partnership after close, but even then, Google got absolutely smoked right into the previous support areas. So let's see if the previous support areas continue to show support on Google, or does it continue to keep getting smacked down over here and struggle a little bit. So this area right there, that pocket, come on, give me my marker. That little pocket right there is what I want to. Mike, is it glitching? How about now? Test. Is it better? Has it been glitching the whole time and no one told me anything? Come on, guys. Yeah, sometimes my audio engine where I route all the audios from messes up. and I have to hit that restart audio engine button for it to fix itself. All right, so Google, possible bounce around 146. If 146 doesn't hold, then I'm almost not really looking for that long on Google. It got smoked back-to-back days over here, even though the market had a nice relief today. Meta also struggled a little bit on Friday. Not a little bit, a lot on Friday. Pushed below 500, but today actually managed to stay above 500. Not that 500 is the key magical level. It's a little bit of a significant level just because of the psychology of traders and you know, normal people who don't really trade on a day-to-day basis like you or I. So they just randomly go, oh, 500, that seems like a good price. You know, Meta was ridiculously strong recently. I'm gonna buy 500. So possibly to see some opportunities at 500, but we're not looking to make decisions off of those idiots, off of those retail traders. We're looking to make decisions off of you know, real money, the hungry money, the big money, not the stupid money. We want to make money with the big money, because the big money is what moves names like Meta. The big money is what moves names like Nvidia. The stupid money is not moving names like Nvidia or Meta, right? So we want to see if the big money actually comes in to defend at these lows at 498, at 500. If so, there's a potential long there on Meta to continue for us to ride into, especially for those who missed the rally on Nvidia previously. Tesla, sorry, why did I pull up Nvidia? Tesla had a decent day today, but Friday it got absolutely smoked. So Tesla showing you some volatility across the board. You know, a lot of back and forth action over here. We're not really settling in a range yet. So a lot of volatility on Tesla. One day we're up drastically, the next day we're down drastically. So it's a choppy at the moment. So you want to be very, very selective when you're trading a name like this. You don't want to get chopped up in the middle of the ranges, because no real level is you know, a guaranteed level. Right? No, none of these levels are almost guaranteed levels because of how just one-shot moves we have, and then a little bit of consolidation. So that consolidation is a real level, but then we just have another one-shot move. That consolidation is a real level. That consolidation is a real level. But any of these just one-shot moves up or one-shot move downs are not really real levels for me. So a lot of choppiness. You want to be very selective and patient and careful when you're looking to make a decision on the big boy here, such as Tesla. QQQ in between Thursday's lows and above Friday's lows. So we're kind of stuck in the range over here, and I think we'll be stuck in the range a little bit longer until CPI comes out, until FOMC comes out. Maybe not till FOMC, but at least until CPI. So potential barriers on both the QQQ and the S&P 500 to the upside, and potential supports on both S&P 500 and on the QQ to the downside. I think we're just going to be boxed in a little bit. Not too much activity expected from the market for tomorrow, and nor am I expecting too much more activity in the market on Wednesday until 8:30 a.m. when the CPI comes out, at which point it could be fireworks. So we'll see what happens. I couldn't tell the difference. I thought the glitch was on my end. Was it the whole stream though, or was it just like at the start of the stream? Hopefully it wasn't the whole stream. That would have been very sad. No, not the whole stream. Okay, just that little part where you guys instantly told me. That's good. Awesome. So SPY, possible just sideways choppy action, inside days expected from the market, from me at least. Hopefully I'm wrong. That way we all have some opportunities to make money as the market keeps on moving around, right? As the market keeps on moving around. Really quickly, I want to show you where the VIX is. I think the VIX has gone down a little bit once again today. Yeah, VIX is down 13%, but you can see how the VIX is still above that right there. The VIX is still above 1880, 1890. So that's showing you that we're actually holding the volatility, the fear a little bit, as the USD JPY still shows you some fear, right? This is the most recent USD JPY sell-off. We pop up, we chop, and then we sell off even more. EWJ, which is the Japan ETF, even that one's flushing a little bit to the downside. So that one's struggling. Huh? You're talking to me? Are you talking to me? stairs yourself. Go. Good night. Oh, sorry guys, I was just going to say good night to my niece. She's going to bed. Saying good night to my niece and my family members. Might be time to quiet down a little bit, as we are almost at the end of the stream anyways. We just got a couple more names to talk about. Whew. I was running around a little bit. Give me a second. Okay. EWJ, this is where I was. EWJ, Japan Index Fund. You can see how even that's pulling back. This is where the low for August was. This is when the Bank of Japan, BOJ, they said they're not going to decrease interest rates because they are scared that the market will go haywire, which is what happened last time, and the market went right back up. But now that the market has stabilized a little bit, they're saying that they might try to increase interest rates again, and if that happens, the carryover trade goes into trouble a little bit more again. That might cause a little more sell-off. So a lot of things still here in the fear factor. Oh, fear factor. I should use that as my next thumbnail. Couple things here in the fear factor still, and you know, that could bring down the market. So keep an eye on these: the USD Japan currency, the EWJ ticker, and the VIX. So keep an eye on these three instruments to see if the fear in the market still opens up, or does it die down after the CPI, which comes out Wednesday 8:30. Let me show you real quick the econ calendar for tomorrow, and then we can call it a night, as my family is going to bed. I don't want to be screaming about the market because I don't want to wake up the poor little baby. She's got to wake up and go to school tomorrow. So don't mind me if I call it a night early. Okay, no YouTube videos, no chess for us tonight. NFIB, Small Business Optimism. What the hell is that? 1 star, nothing over there. OPEC monthly report. Okay, oil names. Red Book, Fed Chair Vice Barr. So Barr talking at 10 o'clock. Make sure you keep an eye out for that. Not something that could move the market volatilely, but if he says something crazy, it has happened before. It has happened before where Barr says something and the market could move off of those statements. So 10 o'clock, make sure you're keeping your ears peeled to the news terminals such as Benzinga or any other news terminal that you use. But if you do want to check out Benzinga, go check out my link. Here's my Linktree page. The Benzinga link is right over here under my affiliate sponsors. Check them out. There's also my other affiliate sponsors such as Trade Ideas, TraderSync. Use code PRAD15 to get 15% off. And if you haven't already, make an account at stonks.com because they're giving out free money every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Free money every single day. Your boy TraderPrad has already won about $108.47. That's USD for my Canadian people. That's USD. So you're making USD currency, and all you have to do is predict where the stock might go on the earnings move. For example, the number one guess for today's game, such as Oracle, they won $125. Sadly, I only won a dollar and 4 cents twice, so I made about $2.08 today on the Oracle game. Recently I made about $10 on the game before that, so $10, $11, $11 on AVGO, and I've been making money almost every single day, just banking up money, and you could do the same. Go do it right now for the GME game. We got the GME game over here that's happening tomorrow after close, so you know, pick your poison, whatever you think the stock is gonna end up at. I'm gonna throw in a couple more tickets because I got a shit ton of tickets just to show you guys how it works. I use my little tools here such as Options AI. It says 2080, so I'm gonna put 2101, and it says, where is it? 2080 and 2770. So that means I'm gonna do 20. What the hell? 27. Hey yo, Oliver, what the hell? My num lock on? Oh, there you go. My num lock was off. That's why. Lol. 2770. I'll do 2769 just for fun. Confirm. Dieter saying he recently won about $182, or maybe he's saying he won $182 in total. But yeah, Dieter recently came first place. Was it, Dieter? What game was it? What game did you come first place in? This one, Fizz, right? Yeah, look at that. Dieter came second and third on the Fizz game. He is the guy who makes beats for all of my streams. He's the guy also who makes the intro for what's it called, for stonks.com. He made the intro for stonks.com, and you can see how he won money over here. $63 there, $38 there. Damn, I wish I got to see them call you out and praise you for your win. Actually, I think I can do that. I'm gonna quickly go check out if I can find their stream on Stonks chat. Stonks. Man, my streams are dying out, chat. You guys need to help me build my page. Only 18 views on Twitter now. Wow, that's so sad. That is extremely. Anyways, I want to go check out if they called out Dieter and if they gave him a shout out. Don't you guys stream on Twitch or Twitter? I mean, I thought you guys streamed on Twitter. What the hell? Your streams are not here anymore? Oh, there it is. There's a broadcast. AI, Broadcom. Where's the Fizz one? Is this the Fizz one? I think this is the Fizz one.
The walls, this is what the door is gonna look like.
Okay, this is the Fizz one. Let's see if they give Dieter a shout out.
He did it. So here we go though, guys. Here we go. We're at 4:30. So.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. With 125.50. Dieter coming in second and in third place with 63 and 38. Kenny is me.
That's all they gave you a shout out. They didn't even say that you are the beat maker for the official beat maker for Stonks. They didn't even hype you up. Come on, Stonks.com. You guys need to do a better job at hyping up your day one users such as me, such as Dieter over here. Come on, you need to hype them up a little bit more. Shout out to Dieter for winning second and third, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy. You've seen me struggle on this website quite a bit. I mean, I haven't won a single second or third place. What's my most highest one spot? Let's see. The highest place I got was 8th. My average place is 12,927. Total contest 17. Best streak 7. And daily place, best place was 8. Total money won $108. Let's go check out Dieter real quick. Bang. Second place. Average place way better than mine. Total money won. Well, I guess that number is a little bit fake because obviously I know the real reason why that number is a little bit fake. Minus 500 from that number and that'll be the real number. Minus 500 from that and that'll be the real number. But anyways, Dieter killing it over there. Absolute monster. Shout out to Dieter, ladies and gentlemen. But that is sadly all she wrote for today's stream. I'm gonna call it. Family members are going to bed. That means I'm gonna probably go watch some YouTube for the rest of the 2 hours over here and go to bed myself. Good luck on tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. There's gonna be tons of opportunities. Palantir, Dell, MicroStrategy, Coinbase. Let me just pull up my watch list again. MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Oracle, AVGO, ARM, WHLR, ASTS. Those are some of the names that I'm focusing on. Obviously, we'll get some more names in pre-market that I'll have to prepare for. And that's going to be on the pre-market stream at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So come check me out on stonks.com where I'm live every single day in the morning where I show you my charting and I show you my positions. So if you're interested to follow along with my trades or see how I trade, you can do so every single day at 9 o'clock. It's time for Pratty Daddy to head out. It's time for the outro to roll in. Is the outro already rolling in? It is. It's already rolled in. So I'm going to head out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Monday to Thursday, same time, same place. 8 o'clock over here. And then Sunday, 6 o'clock. Good luck tomorrow. Peace. Today, so pretty good moves across the board. Pack basket. Get destroyed. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day. So let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync,
promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.